What is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video I'm going to take a look at a ultra budget monitor which I think might be just up your street. This is the MSI IMAGE 274PFW. Now the W in this one is for the white version, so yeah, they do a white version. White is becoming very popular in PC trends, as well you can tell from the computer behind me, etc. And obviously people have got keyboards, mice, they like to have the whole thing set up, but it's been really difficult trying to get a white monitor. So MSI, in their wisdom, have done two versions of this particular monitor, both ironically at the same price, which seems unusual, but hey ho. So this is the white version, so look for the W on the end of the part number. There's actually also some other versions of this available, which is also a 1440p monitor. This particular one is the cheapest of the range, which is coming at 1080p. All of which have the Rapid IPS technology. So this is good for up to 180 Hz, which is absolutely fantastic. And when it comes to the variable refresh rate, it supports variable refresh from 48 Hz all the way up to 180 Hz. So if you like your fast-paced gaming on possibly your console, your PC, or maybe something else, this could be right up your street. So it does actually include HDMI CEC. So that means that it's going to take full advantage of HDMI devices which can communicate through that protocol. So again, consoles, things like that, you can use it and turn off your console or turn off the monitor, that kind of stuff. Absolutely fantastic for console gamers. But for PC gamers, this I think is going to be great. Now the price of this is actually quite surprising. And I had to double check this a couple of times just to make sure I had it right. This is only £110 here in the UK at the time of recording, which is the middle of May 2025. I think it's an absolutely outstanding price for a Rapid IPS screen. £110 from Amazon, from eBuyer, places like that. This is the price. Now originally this was around about £170, which was a little bit of a weird price because the 1440p version was basically £10 dearer, so it's kind of like a no-brainer. If you want 1440p gaming, 180 Hz refresh, then obviously yeah, spend the extra, get the better real estate. But with this now being reduced to £109, give or take, I think this is extraordinary value for money. And it's not like they've skimped on anything. It's a really, really nice IPS panel. You've got some excellent colours, of which you've got 90% of the Adobe RGB. You've also got 92% of the DCI P3 range. And when it comes to sRGB, which I generally tend to use, you've got 117%. The screen also has a really nice anti-glare coating on it, so even in the harsh lights that we've got here in the studio, which is probably making my head shine, yeah, there's basically nothing showing on the screen, which is excellent. Especially for those of us in the UK where summer is starting to kind of appear and you're getting a lot of sunlight coming through windows, etc. So this is going to help with that anti-glare coating if you're gaming during the day. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the intro. Let's take a look and see what we actually get. We'll take a tour of the monitor and talk about cables, accessories, all that kind of stuff. Then we'll look at some examples of some usage, and then you can make up your mind whether or not this is going to be suitable for your next purchase. So starting off with the monitor, this is a 27-inch monitor, if I haven't already said that already, or it isn't obvious from the part number. Again, this is the 1080p version. Also supports things like picture-in-picture or picture-by-picture, and that is mostly down to the fact that we've got multiple inputs. So on the back, you've got two HDMI inputs and also a display input. There's also your power jack input, and there's also a headphone output. Sadly, this doesn't have any speakers built in, which I think is a little bit of a shame for possibly some of you console gamers out there. Maybe you want to do that. Obviously, plug in a set of headphones into the back through the headset jack, or alternatively into your PC. That's a pretty simple thing to do. Again, like I've said, this is the white version, so kind of everything it comes with it is white. So you've got a really, really nice stand. This is an exceptionally high quality stand, normally only seen on premium monitors. So you've got all the full ranges of both height adjustability, you've also got pivot, you've also got tilt and rotation. So basically you can set up however you want. If you want to spend money and have this as basically a Discord monitor on the side of your existing setup, you can do. It does rotate into portrait mode very easily. The stand itself is actually really, really well made. And obviously because it is the W version or the white version, even the stand itself is white as well, including the base, which is excellent. You also get a white power cable, a white power supply, and also even a white HDMI cable. So yeah, really going for the white theme here with this one. Obviously, if you go for the black version, all those accessories are going to be in black. For those of you wondering, you can remove the stand if you want to and use a VESA mount, so a 75 by 75 mount. Very easy to do, screws are included for all that kind of stuff, and also extension screws as well. So if you've got a mount which is a little bit on the wider side, then you can still use the extension screws and attach that very easily. Although personally, I think most people, you'd be very happy using the included stand. Something else I really like about this screen is the fact that you have got an excellent menu system. So on the back, you've got a little red button, which is color coded towards MSI, obviously. Just press it in and it comes up in the bottom corner here. You can also do quick options, so up, down, left, right. You can set for various things like controlling volume, bringing up your display settings, changing HDMI inputs or display inputs, all that kind of stuff. And the menu itself has got an awful lot of features. You can go through there and tweak the display to your heart's content. Currently I've got this set to somewhere in the region of about 10% brightness, and it's still brighter than my monitor behind me. In terms of the specifications for the screen, it's only 300 nits, but it seems a lot brighter. I'll be honest with you, it does seem a lot nicer. And also, because this is an IPS screen, normally you get that IPS glow. I'm really pleased to say with this particular one, I've tried my hardest and I cannot get any IPS glow whatsoever. So obviously your mileage may vary, but for me, yeah, it seems to be a perfect panel. So when it comes to things such as your contrast ratio, so being this is IPS, you're looking at 1000 to 1. Although if you use DCR or dynamic contrast ratio, you can have up to kind of 10 million to 1, although it's very hard to test that. As we've already said, this is supporting up to 180 Hz and also has a 1 millisecond response time. Again, with IPS, as you'd expect, the viewing angles are excellent. So you've got 178 degrees of access. So yeah, even looking side on, you can pretty much still see the picture pretty well. Also, it seems to have a mode on there called HDR Ready, but I'm struggling to work out how that actually works. It isn't really bright enough for an HDR, so HDR screens generally tend to be 400 nits and above, at least for really basic HDR. So I'm not too sure about that one. Maybe you can let me know if you've got one of these in the comments section, or if I find where it is in the menu, I will update the video. So overall, an excellent panel, and at what I think is frankly an excellent price for that 180 Hz. It's, yeah, for IPS, it's just absolutely great. But let's take a look at some of the gameplay I recorded a little bit earlier, and also some examples of video footage so you can get an idea of what this panel might look like on your desk. So I think you'll pretty much agree it looks fantastic, and I've got to say I don't think the camera is actually doing it justice. Sat in front of it is absolutely glorious, and for me, 27 inches 1080p, for some people you might find that's a little bit on the kind of large side, but actually for a lot of people, especially console gamers, or if you're into fast-paced shooters, 1080p 27 inches is absolutely great, especially for some of those faster moving titles like your Counter-Strike 2, things like Valorant, Fortnite, that kind of thing. This is going to be absolutely great. And of course, if you're going to be plugging it into a console, you're not going to be stressing your console trying to make it produce 1440p or higher resolutions. It's going to be at 1080p and it's going to look absolutely glorious. So pros and cons, I'd say pros, basically the whole thing, obviously the price, the fact that the stand is excellent if you are planning on using the stand with all those options there for the tilt, the pivot, rotate, etc, etc, all the height adjustment. And actually there's quite a lot of height adjustment on there as well, so you can take it right up, or if you want to, if you've got a smaller desk, you can take it all the way down. Again, even things like the roller or the spring mechanism, it's actually really high quality, works very well. And of course you've got your rotation both ways, and also got your pivot, which works very nicely. The stand is actually brilliant. I like the stand a lot. It's really good. So if you've got a desk setup which is very specific to you and you've got specific needs, I think this is going to be great. Of course, you've still got the option to use a vessel mount should you wish to, but I think with the stand, and also the fact that it's designed to be kind of cohesive design with it all being white, yeah, I think it's absolutely cracking. I'm glad they've reduced the price back down to 109. It kind of come out at roughly that price, then went up to about 150, 160, and is now back down almost as of today's recording date. So yeah, that is excellent. I think I would struggle to recommend this at 150 to 160 pounds. I think there's a lot of other competition on the market, and you possibly may be better off with a 1440p panel, but at £100 or thereabouts for a 1080p 180 Hz panel, I think you're really going to struggle to find better on the market. Anyway, that's my opinion on the MSI 274PFW. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, smash that like button. If you want to see more content like this on a daily basis, maybe consider hitting subscribe and also the chime notification. That way you'll be notified of future video releases. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.